I've just finished some seriously powerful imagination exercises. I do them every day. You should too. Why? Because your imagination is your most powerful tool. Think about it, without imagination we wouldn't have any of the creations that hold up 21st century society. When you train your imagination you massively increase your creativity levels. How to increase creativity. So how do you improve your imagination? Exercises can help. There are many ways to train your mind. 10 mind training techniques to try. And there are some excellent exercises for imagination, as I'll share below. For thousands of years people have used imagination exercises. Did you know? People have been doing imagination exercises for millennia. In the ancient spiritual text, the Vedas, imagination is viewed as both the transcendent power through which the gods created the universe, and the power that joins the human spirit with the ultimate reality. 1. To live your ultimate reality, you have to train your imagination. Great, but how do you train your imagination? Why you should start doing imagination training exercises. Imagination training exercises are a big deal because they are the key to being more creative. Imagination has given humankind our greatest accomplishments. It is only due to the imagination that Gaudi was able to construct the most divine architecture in Sagrada Familia, or that Shakespeare was able to distill the essence of man and use it to pen such timeless classics as Hamlet and Macbeth, or that Monet was able to take the port of Le Havre, France, and convert it into his masterpieces. Look around at all the inventions we take for granted today. How many items around you were first imagined in someone's mind? Imagine what you yourself could accomplish by doing some imagination exercises. If you want to be more creative you need to train your imagination with exercises. When you train your imagination, you increase your creative potential. When you're at your most creative, you open up the possibilities in your life. This ultimately will make you more successful. Disagree? Just consider the effect imagination has on these 3 areas of your life. Career. A highly imaginative person will see the possibilities for career development, and they will also be more likely to create new things, such as products to sell. A big deal for any entrepreneur. Dating. Believe it or not, imagination affects dating. For starters, people are more attractive to creative and imaginative people. 2. Health. This is truly phenomenal. Imaginative people are healthier. Increased creativity leads to less anxiety, better mental health, and better problem-solving skills. 3. All of this means that imagination is becoming a very real thing. Why people get the wrong idea about imagination. Many people consider the imagination to be about childhood games of cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians. They consider imagination to be pure fantasy. But as Pablo Neruda famously said, everything you can imagine is real. Neruda is not alone in his belief in the power of the imagination. Einstein said, BCTT tweet equals, imagination is more important than knowledge. For knowledge is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world, and all there ever will be to know and understand. Username equals T_D_ meditation. Imagination perceives reality beyond the 5 senses. 4. This is why it is so important to do imagination exercises. Because imagination cuts through sensory reality to create a more vivid world. When you do imagination exercises you train the mind to take information from the world and rearrange it to create something new, such as by taking glass, wood and stone and turning it into a house. Imagine, unintended, what you can achieve when you train your imagination. So, what are the best exercises to improve imagination? How to improve imagination exercises you should try. 1. The best imagination training exercise is to be a kid. If you want to know how to train your imagination, learn from kids. Kids are geniuses of imagination. Everything they do is a sort of imagination exercise. Pablo Picasso said, BCTT tweet equals, everyone starts off as an artist. The trick is staying that way. Username equals T_D_ meditation. Kids love using their imagination. And kids do imagination training exercises every day, though they probably don't realize it. Tragically, as we grow up we're forced to become machines of logic and reason and we stop training the imagination. All those imagination exercises kids do. Stuff like cops, Adults need other ways to improve the imagination. We adults should actively train our imaginations to stay strong, just like we train our bodies. One way to do that is by having fun like a kid. Fun implies a sense of playfulness. Playfulness implies a sense of creativity, a sense of messing around, changing things, and experimenting. Be creative, have fun. This will boost your imagination big time. 1B. Video games make great imagination exercises. Video games have been scientifically proven to make you more creative and to improve your imagination. 5. Some genres of games are better at this than others. Creative games like Snipper Clips for the Nintendo Switch, for instance, teach you to be more creative and imaginative. Fantasy games like Dragon Age and Final Fantasy show you amazing fantastical lands and characters, inspiring your imagination. And there are games that get you to draw or to be creative in other ways. Minecraft, for instance. Point 2. An alternative imagination exercise is to just shower. In his groundbreaking book, Wired to Create, Scott Barry Kaufman says that 72% of people have creative insights in the shower. When we are showering, we are usually alone and relaxed. We are in an isolated environment where there is little to distract us. The sound of the water mixed with the massaging of the body make us highly relaxed. And a relaxed mind is a creative mind. 6. To train your imagination, take a truly relaxing shower with some aromatherapy soaps. Train your imagination in the shower. 1. Meditate on the sound of the water. 2. Be mindful of the feeling of washing your body. 3. Breathe in the warm air. 4. Smell the fresh scents of the soap. 5. Above all, relax. Your imagination and creativity will come to life. Point 3. Meditation, best imagination exercise ever. It's a well-established fact that meditating makes us more creative. This is especially true for open meditation techniques. Open meditation techniques are meditations in which we do not focus on a singular thing. Instead, we open our minds to the entirety of our environment. We are mindful of everything. Science proves that open meditations are some of the best exercises for improving imagination. Cognitive psychologists Lorena Colado and Dominic Lepelt at Leiden University conducted research and discovered that a brief meditation session can have a deep and lasting effect on your creative brain. However, this is only true for open meditation techniques, meditations in which you are receptive to your entire environment and to thoughts and sensations. Read my guide to 31 forms of meditation for more on this. Point 4. Use this visual memory exercise to improve imagination. Visual imagination is the ability to perceive mental images. For instance, I'm currently writing a fantasy novel. It's of lots of elaborate fantasy worlds. And when I write, I literally step into those worlds. I've always had an insanely powerful imagination, so when I write, I literally see my fictional world around me. That's visual imagination. Here's one technique I personally use to train my visual imagination. Visual imagination exercise for the imagination. 1. Start by closing your eyes and taking a few calming breaths just to silence the thoughts of the day. Use this guide to breathing meditation. It'll relax you very quickly and very deeply. Point 2. Imagine that you are stepping into your chosen room of your house. You open the door and turn to the left. What do you see? Take your time to really visualize the wall, any furniture, windows, etc. This should take a minute or two. Allow yourself to see the colors of this side of the room, the shapes, the general outline of the room, and so on. Point 3. Now proceed to the next wall and repeat the process. Repeat this process for each wall of the room, so you are taking a minute or two to paint a mental picture in your mind's eye of each side of the room. Point 4. Once you have viewed each side of the room, allow yourself to fill in the details. Are there any items left out? Is anything out of place? Are the lights on or off? Allow yourself to see these details. Point 5. Open your eyes and try to recall the same mental picture. You will find it to be harder because information from your environment is interfering with the mental picture. The more you practice this exercise, the more you'll be able to use your imagination whilst your eyes are open, and this will greatly help you to think clearly in your day-to-day life. I personally do this exercise once a week. It's a powerful way to train your ability to visualize. But you might be wondering, why do you want to imagine the rooms of your house? The exercise is a means to an end. When you can visualize your house easily, you'll be able to visualize other things. It will help you to see what's in your imagination more clearly. It's only by imagining the details of my own home that I've trained my imagination to be able to see the feathers of a griffin in flight when writing my novel, or the facial contours of the snow wolf that is one of my main characters. You can also use this to help you with visualizations. One of the best psychological exercises you can do is visualize your path to success. This will help with that. If you'd like to know more about this, take a look at my guide to training your subconscious mind. Point 5. Practice yoga for both a physical exercise and an imagination exercise. Read my guide to yoga for creativity for more on this. 6. An easy way to improve your imagination is to read and watch fantasy. It has been scientifically proven that when you read highly imaginative fiction, you open your mind and increase your imagination. 4. Probably the best genre for this is the fantasy genre. Reading fantasy novels is one of the best imagination exercises you can do. Fantasy books are packed of highly imaginative scenes and are perhaps the most creatively liberating genre of novels. Alternatively, watch highly creative movies. These can either be movies that are highly creative in themselves, Inception, for instance, or movies that show a character being highly creative. Ryan Nemec is a positive psychologist who conducted research showing that the movies we watch have a profound impact on our mind. We can actually watch movies to learn specific human characteristics, including creativity. In his book Positive Psychology at the Movies, Nemec states that the best movies for imagination are A Beautiful Mind of Utorcast Away Edward Scissorhands 7. Make use of these 40 daily brain training activities. The healthier your brain is, the better your imagination will be. Here are some